Hey Dumplies, it's Dave Decide. Today I want to get into Suga and what he did or said to Halsey after her bad health was revealed. I also want to get into Jungkook recently on live and what he said and did. So, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on, grab your dumpling, teaspoon mug merch, and let's get into it. Jungkook was recently on live and on IG, sort of. It was the middle of the night and he decided to do a live Q&A session using the Q&A feature, and he was answering them really quickly and in real time. This was the middle of the night. It seemed perhaps Jungkook is still jet lagged and couldn't sleep, but he seemed very well. He wasn't answering the questions with words, he was verbally saying the answers and he sounded well. The prompt that he asked said, "Let's play the balance game." I didn't know this is what it was formally called, but this is the versus game. So bears versus dogs, and then you pick one you like more. Jungkook did a lot, but I want to pull some of the more interesting ones. Someone asked about boxing versus gaming. Jungkook replied that he doesn't really game much, and so he of course picks boxing. Even in BTS's reality show, we never see Jungkook play much. He maybe plays a little, but he mostly just sits there and watches Jin play. But we do know that he requests for, in the Soup season 1 and 2, if he could have a boxing thing brought to the set for something that he can do while on his break. They don't show much of him doing that, but that doesn't mean he didn't do it. Maybe the editors didn't think it was interesting to see him box the thing. Or maybe it was too violent for Korean audience, I don't know. Someone also asked if he preferred singing or dancing. This is definitely a great question. Jungkook has become such a great dancer. I think in the beginning, we see the lead dancers as Jimin and J-Hope. Both were trained as dancers and both have unique and different dancing backgrounds. But J-Hope is known as someone who can pick up dancing quickly and is one of the best dancers in K-pop. Jimin is classically trained, so for the longest time, everyone looks to these two as the best. But recently, Jungkook has been training a lot and kind of made his way up from the normal BTS dancer to now in that top category with J-Hope and Jimin. So at least I thought the answer would be dancing. Jungkook said that he loves dancing lately and has been doing it a lot, but overall prefers singing. And this is his career and what he was initially known for, being the lead singer, so he is making sure to stick to his roots and stick to being one of the best singers. One of the other questions I thought was a weird but interesting one as well is to say that if he was born again or started over, would he choose to be ARMY or be in BTS? Of course, he is going to choose to be in BTS, which he did. And if he could start his life over, I'm entirely sure he would do the exact same thing again. Of course, everyone has regrets in their life, but if you change anything or do anything different, you'd be in a different place than you are now. I would recall even small phrases or words people have said to me that had a profound impact in my life and things I reference in my head all the time. And things those people don't even remember saying, but obviously have changed my life. Jungkook wouldn't regret any small thing because no matter how small or big, it has probably led him to be the successful and powerful person that he is now. I love that Jungkook spent time answering these. Moments like this are obviously great for him as he is bored, but there is something about hundreds of thousands or millions of people all joining in at one moment, watching and seeing him answering these questions in real time. Even participating and just knowing that as you watch him answer these questions, he is there on the other side of the phone, just like you. There's something magical about that. I love seeing how the boys have kind of gotten used to or fell in love with social media the way that they have. Of course, getting hate comments is always tough, but he has to see that there are definitely more people who support and love him than the opposite. The members have really embraced April Fool's Day, and some of them changed their profile pictures to Pokemon, and even Jimin went ahead to change the official BTS Twitter account to himself and added his name, as well as adding a baby picture of himself. Celebrities do this all the time, play little jokes and do more celebratory holiday stuff. However, very few K-pop idols do this type of stuff. They usually can't because of their management, and so they often can feel kind of stiff and less relatable. But since BTS is such a big contributor of HYBE, and also HYBE was so small in the beginning when they started, BTS definitely had a lot more freedom with this type of stuff. Of course, there's other reasons other K-pop idols can't show relatable stuff or things like that. In fear of another girl idol showing a similar thing, they then would both be accused of dating. However, I think it's interesting that while there were mild dating rumors involving Halsey and BTS, those went away pretty quickly, and now it's just known that the two are really good friends. They genuinely love and support each other and always try to find time to meet each other when they are within the same neighborhood. ARMYs also know that Halsey is married, so they tend to think that the boys are not interested in her in that romantic way. Halsey recently had a child, and this was not something easy for her to do. She has had several miscarriages in her career. Little trigger warning here, blood and miscarriages. Since the start of her career during the Badlands album tour, she mentioned how she wanted a kid, and she suffered a miscarriage at that time and then allegedly a couple of times since then. One of the stories I remember hearing her talk about when I used to constantly stalk her interviews was that she woke up one morning after being pregnant on tour and noticed that in her hotel bed it was just blood on the sheets. And she asked her assistant to go get her adult diapers, and she jumped on stage right after that and talked about how angry she was for that whole set. This just gives you an idea of how tough it was for her if you didn't think miscarriages were tough already. Halsey has had endometriosis, which I am not the proper person to discuss the condition, but it's just very painful periods. She is also bipolar, which isn't directly related to the condition, but the added anxiety and stress that comes with managing bipolar worsens any condition you have. And I can imagine something like her not wanting to take her bipolar medication while being pregnant can be something stressful. Not saying that is what happened, but you can imagine the type of complication she would endure. All of this makes the child that she ended up giving birth to so much more of a miracle and so amazing. It was definitely meant to be for her to be a mother, and an amazing one. One of the first gifts that BTS sent, or was believed to be Suga that sent, it was a care package. Halsey took a picture and posted it. It was a bunch of snacks, and we saw Suga's face in the packaging, so a lot of us assumed it was him that sent it. Halsey also worked on a song and mentioned how Suga was the right person for this song. There of course are many people she could have chosen from. She could have gone with RM. It would have been easier communication, and RM can rap and sing too, but she felt Suga was the right person, which shows that they vibe really well together, and it probably just felt right for her. So this shows how close they are to each other. There was also a photo that was shared by Halsey, I believe, where it appeared to be a blurry picture of Suga holding Halsey's baby. It was black and white and just a cute photo, as Suga seemed really happy. And he's an uncle now, I guess. Now, while these weren't actual public words or anything like that, there are very big statements and show of love to Halsey, because a simple congratulations on social media would have totally been enough, and likely what a lot of celebrities did, but to show love and give gifts means a lot in Asian culture. Gifts are more of a sign of a thing of not just kindness, but luck. If you are born and you are showered with foods and those sorts of things, lots of money, or in Chinese culture, red envelopes on New Year's, of course, when you're BTS or Halsey, money is not something that you need, or is really anything that if you didn't get would be hard for them. As if you're a regular person, the amount of money you might get as a baby gift might actually help you cover the cost of not working for a few months to take care of your baby. But these gifts for a celebrity and even just wealthy Asian people are not about the money. This is all a gift to symbolize luck, to be like your baby is going to be wealthy, have lots of food, and be very well taken care for. But then also be interpreted in more of a literal sense as a congratulatory gift, because having a baby for Halsey is not something that was probably easy for her. It didn't come easy and likely had a lot of complications. I bet there was a time where she thought being a mother would never happen for her. But she doesn't give up hope, and for those who want a baby but can't have one, adoption or a surrogate is always a viable and real option, and especially in modern day medicine. There is nothing that can't happen, so don't lose hope. There's other rumors and theories of other gifts that Suga or BTS have given Halsey or her baby, but I couldn't find any actual photos or real evidence of those gifts. It's just hearsay. We haven't even seen the baby's faces, which we should all be okay with. The baby may want a normal life, but this shows that a lot of gifts may be more private or could be more personal and aren't shared. There's of course traditional Korean gifts that Suga could have given, especially if he values Halsey like family. It's usually customary to give gold or some sort of jewelry, again, to symbolize luck. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, a link below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you so much. Bye.